Hello, I am Carolyn Muller, and I warmly welcome you to our presentation on PPE Category 3 gowns. First, I would like to share some information about our company, which is a manufacturer of personal protective equipment and medical products with production facilities in Southwest Germany, as well as in Europe and Asia. We export PPE and medical products from head to toe to over 65 countries through a distribution network of over 160 partners. Annual production amounts to up to 1 billion medical face masks, FFP2 and FFP3 masks. Our two logistics centers deliver goods directly to our customers. At our company, 50 motivated team players work daily to serve our customers. Our company has been developing and producing PPE and medical products for healthcare, emergency services, and clean rooms since 1996. We protect employees and products from contamination by providing PPE from head to toe. This includes disposable caps, gowns, gloves, and masks. Safety, innovation, and quality are the reasons for our actions. And now to the main topic, Category 3 gowns. The following questions will be answered. What is a Category 3 gown? Why should one use a Category 3 gown? What protection classes are available for a Category 3 gown? Where should one wear a Category 3 gown? What exactly is a Category 3 gown? Category 3 gowns are protective gowns that serve personal protection and thus fall under PPE according to the European regulation. Within this regulation, 3 categories are defined. Category 1 PPE protects the wearer against minimal risks. This includes, for example, superficial mechanical injuries or contact with hot surfaces that do not exceed a temperature of 50 degrees Celsius. Category 2 PPE is defined by protecting the wearer against risks not listed in Category 1 or 3. This includes, for example, eye protection, such as safety glasses or gloves as worn by auto mechanics. Category 3 PPE, which includes the gowns presented in this presentation, protects the wearer against risks that can lead to very serious consequences, such as death or irreversible health damage. This includes, for example, hazardous substances and mixtures, harmful biological agents, harmful noise, or ionizing radiation. Why should one use a Category 3 gown? In comparison with Category 1 gowns, a price difference is often noticeable. Category 1 gowns are often cheaper than Category 3 gowns, but Category 3 includes extensive product testing and certifications, as well as higher quality materials. When looking at the comfort of both gowns, Category 1 gowns are often more comfortable to wear. But Category 3 protective clothing requires effective barrier materials to ensure the best possible protection for the wearer. Often a Category 1 gown is chosen because it is not only PPE, but also a medical device. It is true that there are Category 3 gowns that are not medical devices, and therefore there are reservations about their use in medical facilities. But for Category 3 gowns, the focus is on protective properties, and they can also be classified as medical devices. We have placed great emphasis on ensuring that the Category 3 gowns in their range are both PPE and medical devices. In summary, protective gowns are designed to protect the wearer from harmful substances. Therefore, protective gowns can be used anywhere people need to be protected from contact with chemicals and/or infectious agents such as bacteria or viruses. In general, there are a total of 6 protection levels for protective clothing, with level 6 being the lowest and level 1 being the highest protection level. Protective clothing of Type 6 provides the wearer with protection against limited quantities of liquid chemicals. Limited quantities here means only drops or splashes that can occur, for example, when chemicals are spilled or transferred from small containers. Protective clothing of Type 5 provides the wearer with protection against solid particles. This not only includes coarse dirt, but also the smallest airborne particles, such as fine dust. Protective clothing of Type 4 provides the wearer with protection against sprays of liquid chemicals. The quantity of liquid can be significantly greater here than with Type 6 protective clothing. To ensure protection even with larger quantities of liquid, the seams of the protective clothing are usually additionally taped to prevent any liquid from penetrating. Protective clothing of Type 3 is completely liquid tight, meaning it protects the wearer even from large quantities of liquids or liquids under pressure. Such protective clothing is chosen when it is necessary to ensure that any liquid the wearer comes into contact with is stopped be tied by the protective clothing. Protective clothing against highly infectious liquids must at least correspond to this protection class. Up to Type 3, protective clothing can be made as disposable protective clothing. Beyond that, that is for Type 1 and 2, this is no longer possible. Here, it is protective clothing against gaseous chemicals, which either protects the wearer from gases through overpressure or through completely gas-tight processing. Type 3, Type 4, and Type 6 are underlined because Category 3 gowns only correspond to these types. They provide partial body protection against liquid chemicals, but not particles or gases. We have gowns for Types 3, 4, and 6 in our portfolio. In addition to protection against chemicals, protective clothing can also be tested for protection against infectious agents. If the protective clothing has passed such a test, it is marked with the corresponding symbol, and a B is added to the type designation. Apart from testing against chemicals or infectious agents, all chemical protective clothing must also undergo tests regarding ergonomics, dimensions, material properties, and seam strength. Overall, the certification of chemical protective clothing is very comprehensive to ensure that the wearer is reliably protected against prevailing hazards. Since chemical protective clothing falls under Category 3 PPE, it must undergo an annual surveillance inspection by an independent body to ensure that the quality remains consistent over an extended period. Here are some examples of where protective clothing should be worn. In the top left, we see a person in a laboratory. They are working with liquid and solid chemicals in small containers. There could be a spill of the chemicals. The person can protect themselves from splashes by wearing a Type PB6 gown. In the bottom left, we see a person handling containers of liquid chemicals. In this case, it could be a person spraying disinfectant with a sprayer. A Type PB4 gown protects the wearer from this spray. In the top right picture, people are in close proximity to a large barrel filled with liquid. If the barrel bursts or the closure opens unexpectedly, a Type PB3 gown would protect the wearer from the large volume of forcefully impacting liquid. The person wearing a blue gown in the bottom right picture is with a patient in a medical facility. By wearing a gown that has also been tested against infectious agents and is therefore marked with the additional symbol and a B after the type class, the wearer can protect themselves against contamination with infectious agents. To ensure complete protection, combine various PPE. Besides protective clothing, assess the need for other PPE like masks, eye protection, and gloves suitable for the risks at the site. Here is an overview of the gowns that we have in our portfolio. As mentioned earlier, we have a suitable product for each possible protection class of protective gowns. In the following, I will introduce the individual gowns and their features with a few product samples. The ISO coat gown is a protective gown specifically designed for use in medical environments. It protects the wearer from infectious agents but has not been tested against chemicals. It features knitted cuffs, ties at the neck and waist, and is fully coated. The ISO coat gown is available in sizes ML and XL. The ISO coat Zytex gown is a protective gown that protects the wearer from both small amounts of liquid chemicals and infectious agents. The robust gown material has been additionally tested against cytostatics. It features knitted cuffs, ties at the neck and waist, and is fully coated. The ISOCOAT Zytex gown is available in sizes ML and XL. The ISOCOAT 364B gown is a spray-type protective gown that protects the wearer from both sprays of liquid chemicals and infectious agents. It features taped seams for improved liquid resistance, knitted cuffs, wide ties at the neck and waist, and is fully coated with breathable microporous laminate. The ISOCOAT 364B gown is available in sizes ML and XL. The ISOCOAT 363B gown is a liquid-type protective gown that protects the wearer from both liquid chemicals and infectious agents. It features taped seams and very robust material, knitted cuffs, wide ties at the neck and waist, and is fully coated. The ISOCOAT 363B gown is available in sizes ML and XL. This concludes our presentation on Category 3 protective gowns. For questions, contact us anytime. Thank you for your attention, and have a great day.